Okay, I'm not sure if anything is wrong with my cassette, but when I plug in my Captain America and the Avengers onto the NES, this is the thing that I say. We don't have an opening title, we just done directly into this Gundam guy, and I have a news reporter talking to me, telling me about things that are happening. Anyway, gamers both young and old, today we'll be looking into Captain America and the Avengers on the NES. Although for me, this is more likely Captain America and Hawkeye, for those are the only two characters that you can use in this game. Now I have no idea who this lady is. Actually, I do. I just want to say keep it and yeah, I want to keep it secret. She's Wops. For some reason, she's Wops and Ant-Man is not around. Okay, now Captain America is actually Marvel's answer to Superman. They both share a lot of similarities. First thing first, super strength. Second thing, American value. You can see that in Captain America. As for Hawkeye, he is definitely Green Arrow. But compared to Green Arrow, Hawkeye is more likable for lots of reasons. First, he's a mercenary and he does not fight for just say the greater good. He's just there for the money. And just put it this way, and since evil is the only way, he just lets it interrupt in the same time. Now, I'm not going to say death battles comparison of this who's the battle, let's say Marsman or let's say Yeoman over here. Yeomen are what British call these archers are. But there's one thing I need to point out. Do you guys find Hawkeye's dress a little bit awkward as he's from a strange version of a male stripper club? Now, just put it this way, this is in the 90s, and the 90s were not good times for the Marvel, and a lot of their heroes look weird. As for this game, if you're okay, gamers young and old, I need to tell you guys this. If this is what you are looking at, and I'm quite certain I need to apologize to you, but there are some part of the games you are being, let's say, transported into a rap zone and you'll fight there, which will turn a lot of you down. But this is not the game that I hate. Actually, I like it for several reasons. First, I can switch from Hawkman to not Hawkman, from Hawkeye to Captain America, and when they're together, right, I can switch them in between to fight. Now, who am I fighting here? Well, my friend actually told me that this was Iron Man, but I doubt it actually is Iron Man. First thing first, if it's Iron Man, it should be red in color. Or they say this NES can be any color, but don't forget NES it was able to do red. Marvel was able to do red, and they already put in a lot of red in their Spider-Man games. So putting him red should not be a big deal. It should be easier. And if you want me to admit this is Tony Stark, I find that a little bit tough because Tony Stark will never, let's say, do such a thing. And okay, you have defeated even my defeat one blah blah blah. Okay, the city is under attack, ocean by the north. Who say anyway? What? Okay, I have no idea what's going on. Now, based on what I was told, found out that beard character was actually Mandarin, which does not look like Mandarin, and Wasp does not look like Wasp. Anyway, let's continue our path, and here we go again, fighting in a rap zone, and I think I'm fighting an odd version of War Machine, which it's not to say that it's not loyal to the comic himself, because unlike the Justice Leagues in Avengers, the characters are more humane and are always at odds with each other. And I'm not talking about the updated version of what Disney has done to Marvel. All the while Marvels have been so. They fought the first Civil War before Batman vs Superman, if you get my drift. So if that was the case, there's nothing much to say. Actually, it's actually quite loyal to the very subject they are touching. Now you can see at this, let's say, level, when these two characters are together, I'm allowed to change Hawkman to, let's say, Captain America as time to time, and most of the time when you're fighting foes who are, let's say, flying around, you will be using Hawkeye. For his range weapon can go further, no doubt, But there's one problem is his actually arrows are not that powerful and you cannot use his special arrows here. There's no special arrows over here. And if they were special arrows here, this guy would be definitely OP'd and we won't be using him. Now, based on the flying method over here, I do not say that this is Iron Man. Because if you're Iron Man, it should be red in color, and since it's silver color, could this be Silver Surfer? Nah, and it also could be one of the Sentinels. Now, some people say, hey, wait a minute, Sentinels are those robots that are hunting down X-Men, right? Yeah, and just let you know, it was Tony Stark who created. Okay, let me say, oh, that was Ultron. Really? That silver thingy was Ultron? Oh, what the hell? Never mind. Actually, that makes sense. You have already kidnapped Tony Stark and based on what I was told, Vision, you will definitely going to create Ultron as it cause trouble here. Okay, so let's see this wing attack. Now let's go and see what's gonna happen. Okay, whoops. Actually, it would be fun if Ant-Man is around, but those were the days where you do see multiple characters appear in comics but not on the TV show. Okay, now let's move to, let's say, Central Part of America and let's continue our battle. Now, some people may say, okay, since Hawkeye is so powerful, why don't you use Hawkeye all the while? No. Captain America has its own, let's say, strength. Why? If you remember the old Captain America song, Captain America throw his mighty shield. Yes, his shield is a build, and this is a tactic that I use all the while. Either rush our target or jump and use the shield to land on him. And you can see I'm causing damage to him without him damaging me. That shield is indestructible. And after all, that is, let's say, what makes Captain America so powerful. His shield is the key. You can, let's say, use the shield bash in this way, or let's say rush to attack him. And another way is to throw the shield at him onto his head, which let's say will swing back and let's say cause more damage. Now I'm just comparing, and now I'm doing this to compare these two and see, let you see how not really that good this Hawkeye is. Well, okay, that was Crossbone. Now some would find a bit strange. Crossbone, shouldn't he be, can you say, a whiny, let's say, criminal looking mercenary based on what we see in the movies? Don't forget, our version of Hawkeye is this guy in the SMS suit. The characters went through a lot of changes, and oh god, how could they, let's say, do this to American Monument? Okay, now I need to point out another advantage of Captain America is his thrown shield. As you can see, one way of he attacking is to see they flung down and punches through people by using a shield as an attack on a block. Another way is when he throws his shield, it can cause double damage to a target. Why? Because the shield acts as a boomerang and comes back. A lot like the Rockman boomerangs. The first miss not gonna hit, at least the second hit's gonna hit, and I have no idea why that guy is on fire. But anyway, let's go for next character. Come on. Who's next? Who's next? Oh, the War Machine that is throwing barrels again. How nice. Okay, no. Based on the movie, I know these two are friends, but in the old cartoons, actually, they were partly close, but not that close, and definitely do not develop a gay relationship. And yeah, I do know there's a modern version where Captain America and Tony Stark, a lady version of Tony Stark, got married, but that is a different universe, and we are not going to talk about this strange thing over here. Now, can you see how the shield works? You can throw it, and it will come back to you. It causes double damage. And if the character is moving around, you can throw the shield and let's say move around, because the shield will come back direct to you. And if the target, or let's say your opponent, wants to harm you and it comes close to you, you can just use this as a homing device to harm your target. Which, just put it this way, in this game, you won't be using Hawkeye for a while. There will be times you really want to use Captain America, and he is awesome for a lot of good reasons. Okay, we are fighting a flying Gundam version of, oh, I'm quite sure this is Mandarin now. Yeah, a samurai version of Gundam is definitely Mandarin. For you see, Mandarin, the character is actually designed with a lot of Oriental influences, where it was a time where anti-Chinese, or let's say the Yellow Purge, was very strong. Not to forget, before that it was Second World War and the anti-Japanese idea was very strong. So Mandarin actually has its influence, or let's say design, based on those two cultures. You say there's a bad thing, I can't say so. Why? My fellow watchers that are actually living in the East, let's be frank. If you're watching a Wong Fei Hong movie or let's say any Chinese martial art movies, what are the pale face doing? Are they the good guys or the bad guys? Most of the time they're bad guys. And alright, what crossbone? Huh? Boss? What does it mean, Red Skull? Oh, of course. This is a Captain American. Of course, Mandarin is not the main enemy. Neither is Crossbone, and Crossbone used to serve under Hydra, which is under Red Skull. Oh man, Hail Hydra here, looks like they're launching a rocket. Now, Hail Hydra may sound awesome, but is there actually a much more awesome, let's say, call for Hydra? Actually, there is. Just that you know, there is something more scary than Hail Hydra. Now, one thing I need to say the reason of me liking this game because it was this game that allowed G.I. Joe to appear. I mean, the Avengers is a lot like G.I. Joe and Hydra actually looks a lot like Cobra Command. Only difference is one are using people with gadgets and the other one are using superheroes. And they do have, let's say, special vehicles, this and that, blah blah blah. Which and yeah, just put it this way, you can really imagine that G.I. Joe comes up with a helicarrier. Now, come back to the, let's say, phrase from Hydra. Hail Hydra is not the most badass phrase. After all, SHIELD is going to destroy everyone, right? Remember, based on Hydra's motto to their own men, in front of Hydra there is no shield. In other words, they will just infiltrate anywhere and SHIELD was not able to stop them. If you have watched Winter Soldier, yeah, that was how SHIELD was destroyed. There's no shield from Hydra, they just infiltrate you. Only thing that Hydra did not, let's say, expect was SHIELD was able to self-destruct, or let's say Captain America was able to destroy it, just to, let's say, get rid of SHIELD influence. Which is a moral value over here. If an organization is not doing its job, it's being corrupted to the core, have it destroyed. Not to say that Marvel is not giving us any good influence or telling us what to do. This is definitely Marvel telling us what to do. Anyway, come on, let's fight Red Skull, who is absorbing all the crystals as he was playing Bloodstain. And there's a strange looking moon, and what the, oh my god. Why are we doing Fist of the North Star over again? First Ninja Turtles, now this. Why are you spinning around as you are a character from Street Fighter? You're not real, you know that. Stop flexing your muscles, that scare the shit out of everyone. No, this, I just put it this way, this is both hilarious and, let's say, awesome at the same time. For see, Red Skull is more a Lex Luthor character, using his cunningness, using his strategy to, let's say, defeat Captain America, who is, let's say, much more capable of physics, or let's say physically strong. But for him to be, let's say, more muscular than Captain America, for him to spin around like a crazy dude, or let's say brainless dude like this, it's kind of awesome and doesn't make sense. And since it doesn't make sense, you can see he died for no good reason. Anyway, the fight is over and that ended the game. Now, if it wasn't for Avengers' idea to, let's say, set NES in this way, right, we would not have a great game known as G.I. Joe, which I will be talking on our, let's say, next episode. And thanks to Captain America for giving them that idea, that influence, and we had a great game. For me, one of the best NES game till now. Anyway, see you then, and I'll tell you about the NES version of G.I. Joe.